Good
Sir, good
morning to
morning.
all. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning to
sir.
all.
Good morning.
Okay,
Good
good
morning, sir.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning to all.
Morning,
Good
sir.
morning, madam.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
sir.
sir. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
sir. This is Eddie.
Good morning. Good morning, Professor Ebi, sir.
Good
Morning, sir. Nice meeting.
Good morning.
morning, sir.
சார் சார் பிரின்சிபால் சார் சொல்லுங்க சார்
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா?
Good morning.
ஓகே. குட்
ஸ்டார்ட்
மார்னிங்
We
பண்ணலாம்
will
மேடம்.
start.
ஓகே,
Okay,
ஓகே.
right. We
இனாகரேட்
will
பண்ணி
start.
விட்டுலாம் சார் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம்
ஓகே.
Okay, right.
குட் மார்னிங் டு ஆல். Quality Assurance Cell and Department of Botany jointly organized the World Environment Day celebration. In this year, it is the first time IQAC organizes this program along with the Department of Botany. Now the seminar session starts with visual college prayer. அகர முதல எழுதெல்லாம் ஆதரவன் முதற்றே உலகு கற்றதன்னால் ஆய்வயனன் கொல் வாழறிவன் நற்றார் பாலின் பிறவி பெருமிடல் நீந்துவர் நீந்தார் இறைவனடி சேராதார். Now I request our NAC coordinator, Dr. V.K. Vijayakumar, to welcome the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Venkatesh. Am I audible, Venkatesh? Ekada?
Yes,
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 audible,
yes.
sir. Audible, sir.
எஸ் சார் எஸ் சார்
Yes. Good morning to every one of you. Thank you for the opportunity. I am very happy to the welcome address on this auspicious day of a World Environment Day. Respected Secretary and correspondent of our college, Dr. D.R. Kumare sir. Respected Principal, Professor N.S. Saranan sir. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. M.G.EBBIE, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Presidency College, Chennai. The convener and organizing secretary of this webinar, Dr. M. Venkatesan, Head Department of Botany, and the IQAC coordinator, Dr. T.D. Venkatesan, and my dear faculty members and my dear students. Good morning to every one of you. I am delighted to welcome you all to this one-day webinar on tackling environmental challenge for a sustainable future in view of this World Environment on this today, 2021. The objective of this seminar is how to protect the environment and our world for future generation. To my knowledge, if we control the pollution, air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution, we can save our world from drought, flood, tsunami, corona, etc. So, to my knowledge, so on this environment day, each one of us take a pledge that we have to reduce the carbon emission. For that, we have to use bicycles for traveling around 3 kilometer distance, and to avoid using plastic and polythene bags, and to plant more trees, to save forests, to apply or use rainwater harvestment. And for example, in this pandemic period, due to pollution-free world, the monsoon starts at the right time. You can see at the south monsoon starts at the right time, and also the dams and reservoirs are filled with enough water, and the agriculture grows is well, cultivation yields is well, vegetable and fruits are well, farmers are very happy. And even though in this pandemic period, the positive thing is the nature. So due to pollution-free world, it do its duty at the right time. And so at this juncture, I once again welcome you all, and I request our students to follow these tips for the future generation. Thank you one and all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Professor G.K. Vijaykumar, for your wonderful welcome address. I request our college principal, N.H. Saravanan sir, to deliver the presidential address.
Thank you. Thank you, Venkatesan.
Good morning. Thank you,
Good
sir.
morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to all. Before start my good morning, sir. Stay all safe, keep social distance, wear mask, and follow the guidelines given by the government. First of all, I thank our management and the organizers to conduct the webinar. I invite the beloved Secretary Sri G.EBBIE sir, Chief Guest Sri Dr. G.EBBIE sir, NAC Coordinator Sri Dr. B.K. sir, IQAC Coordinator Sri Dr. T.D. Venkatesan sir, Convener Dr. Sri M. Venkatesan sir, dear colleagues and my dear students. I show my blessings to Dr. M. Venkatesan, Convener, NAC Coordinator B. Vijay Kumar and IQAC Coordinator Dr. T.D. Venkatesan and this in the pandemic situation. Actually, the Environmental Day is celebrated on 5th June every year. It is started in 1974. It has been celebrated around the world. On this day, we raise awareness to protect environment. World Environment Day 2021 is about ecosystem restoration. This day is an opportunity to together and environmental issues. It despite the degrading environment's effects on human life. We learn about environmental degradation and we are encouraged to take steps to preserve environment. The environment is being destroyed by pollution, deforestation, and increased aquatic life, global warming, overpollution, etc. With this address, I conclude our speech. Thank you, all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Venkatesan to introduce the chief guest.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I'd like to thank our management and principal and NAC coordinator and IQ coordinator for giving an opportunity to conduct such a webinar program for this pandemic period. It is my great pleasure and honor to introduce today's chief guest, Dr. MG, for this Environment Day 2021 celebration of Sourashtra College. Dr. M.G.EBBIE is working as an assistant professor of botany, Presidency College, Chennai. He completed his undergraduate and postgraduate programs in St. Botany and completed MPhil in Madras Christian College. Subsequently, he worked for his PhD award from the Sri Paramakalyani Center for Environmental Sciences, Manammayam Sundarnagar University. He is involved in teaching since 2005. His area of research interest includes cytogenics, plant tissue culture, and seed biology. He has published more than 10 research papers and few chapters in books also in well-reputed national and international journals. And he also presented many papers in national and international conferences and also delivered number of lectures in various colleges and universities. He also organized few conferences and workshops. Apart from this, he is the co-coordinator of Eco Club in Presidency College, Chennai, June since June 2019. And also Board of Studies member in various colleges and also reviewer in few journals, which is a care listed journals. With this brief introduction, I am welcoming Dr. M.G.EBBIE to deliver a lecture on tackling environmental change for a sustainable future. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Professor Venkatesan. Now I request our chief guest as well as the speaker, Dr. G.EBBIE, to deliver the Environmental Day address. Now the session is with you.
Thank you, Dr. Wonderful my video. So, very sir, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you please share it.
Okay.
To
Sir, you are presenting your screen.
Venkatesan.
It is a presentation வரல.
Doctor. Sir, hear me? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Just
Hello. Hello.
everyone.
Hello. G.EBBIE, sir.
ப்ராப்ளமா வெங்கடேஸ்வரன்? ஏகேபி
அதான் தெரியல. என்னன்னு தெரியல. அதான்.
ஏகேவே என்னன்னு பார்க்க சொல்லுங்களேன்.
ஆமா, ஆமா. வெங்கடேசன். வெங்கடேசன். Professor Rex.
Sir, I hope I'm audible right now.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Am I
Yes,
Now it is audible.
yes, sir. You are.
Okay.
Okay, okay. I need to
Okay,
just
we'll
share
start the
it.
sessions.
சார் நான் ஷேர் பண்ணவா?
Yes, please.
வெங்கடேஷ் கால் இருக்கா?
இருக்கு சார், இந்த கால் பண்றேன்.
ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சார் பேசுங்க.
ஷேர் ஆயிருக்கா?
வெயிட் ஆகிட்டு இருக்கேன்.
சார் பிபிடி ஆன் பண்ணணும்.
ஸோ வந்து சார் எப்படி சார் ஆரம்பிக்கலாம்?
Yes, okay. So, sorry for the delay and sorry for the technical problems. Good morning, each one of you. My Environmental Day wishes to each one of you. My sincere thanks to my well-wisher and friend, Dr. M. Venkatesan, for inviting me for this lecture. I also thank profusely the principal of this college, Professor N.H. Saravanan, the secretary and correspondent, Dr. D.R. Komare, the NAC coordinator, Dr. V.K. the IQAC coordinator, Dr. T.D. Venkatesan, all these people. Thank you so much, sir. I also thank and welcome all the head of the departments and staff members, and also the students who have come here. And right now, this is a very crucial period we are facing everywhere. I hope my sound is audible.
எஸ் சார்.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So now we are all in a very crucial time. Not only the situation of COVID, regarding environment also. Every time we come across a lot of problems, lot of challenges. So this Environmental Day we are celebrating every year, June 5th. But my thinking is slightly a different one. When we celebrate Father's Day, we celebrate Mother's Day, it's just for a day because we have lost our communion. That is the joint family system, we have lost it. So one day we remember these people. Similarly, what has happened right now is we are celebrating this Environmental Day and we forget it. But this should not happen. That is my humble request to all the student participants, because this will be of a slightly different dimension. I'm just going to give you the challenges. You all know very well. The students every day, all disciplines of students, they come across environment, they study about environment, but they are not in a position to look at the challenges and what future in future what we have to do, that we have to think. That is in the hands of the students. So the Venkatesh sir, you can just share the first slide, the next slide. This is what our environment was. It was a green one. Yeah, I'll just try it. No, the first one. The first slide, please. Yes, this was the environment in the past. We have been for quite a long time in the nature, and we were afraid of nature. People, when they lived in forest, they were afraid of nature. Later, after finding fire, they were very afraid of fire, and then they started using fire, and now. So they started leading their life along with the forest system. First they were afraid to lead their life, then they led their life along with the forest system. Then finally, you can see that I think many participants are requesting for full screen. Venkatesh sir, can you just...
Okay, sir, I'm trying.
Yes, okay. So I'll keep continuing.
Yes, you go ahead.
Yes, okay. So now the next slide you can see. In the next slide, this is what our environment is. Please, the next slide, Dr. Venkatesh. Yes, this is today's environment. When we speak about environment, there are no trees. We are able to see a lot of very huge and tall buildings. And when you come inside the room also, you can see some 2 or 3 plants are there, which we say that it is an indoor plant, and we think about that this is our environment. But if this continues to grow, what will be our future? The next one you can see. The next slide you can see, this may be the future if this happens. This just going and standing in front of a image and just saying that we are going to conserve the earth, we are going to conserve the planet. So that will be very, very dangerous. So this should not happen. If this should not happen, every time we go We have to conserve our earth, Mother Earth. So for that, the whole environment has to be conserved. So now let us have a look at the ancient people. Let us go back to our own history, where we started our life. So man was an hunter-gatherer. Hunter-gatherer is just gathering food from the forest. Whatever the products are available, it may be the fruits, it may be the nuts, it may be tubers. These things were being used by the humans for survival as well as for the sake of food. He had plenty of space. The space occupied by an individual was 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers for an individual. Just can you imagine this right now? That is not possible at all. And you can see we had a science called intuitive science. This was the science which we followed for having all sorts of food, for gathering the medicines from the plants. So totally we were dependent upon this forest and forest products. It may be even honey. It may be the small insects. That is in the later period when man started using non-vegetarians, that is fishing. Fishing was the first non-vegetarian food which human beings started tasting. So he started with that of small plants like the fruits and vegetables. Then he has moved to this fishing. In the next slide, you can see the movement from where we started our origin. Our origin of human beings, if you see, we had somewhere in the African continent. We started our movement from the African region. Then we have started moving little by little from that place, and we have moved to different parts of the world, you can see. So about 200,000 years ago, human beings have started, evolved, and they have started moving from there little by little. And they have passed through the Mediterranean region, and they have gone to the Australia, passing through India. They have reached this Australia. That is the first route. Then you can see towards the northern part, they have just started moving. Moving towards the northern part is the Asian region. And then finally you can see they have started moving to the European countries as well as the north, the south and north and South America. So the Southern America was the last place where man has moved to. So by the time people have got settled everywhere throughout the world. And to the imagination or to the truth, if you want to find out, where we have started this is pollution. Pollution started way back about 10,000 or 12,000 years before itself. Why I say that 10,000 or 12,000 years before is, we have started agriculture about some 10 to 12,000 years before itself. Once we started improving the cultivational varieties, once we started agriculture, we have started polluting the whole environment. That is the biggest problem where man has started pollution. And now look at this long journey of human beings. We have crossed 3 different ages, and now we are in the 4th age. Can you go to the previous slide, Dr. Venkatesh? No, yes. So this is the long journey of human beings, the 3 different ages: the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and Iron Age. Stone Age is just stones as tokens, so probably very, very less of pollution, I just presume. And they were leading the life in rocks and crevices, that is Paleolithic shelters. Paleolithic shelters means that is living in the rock and rock crevices. Then they started using certain copper, zinc, all these things they started using. That is the Bronze Age, and finally the Iron Age. So the Iron Age has resulted in a number of other things, using a lot of different types of weapons. That is in the Iron Age. And finally we are in the digital era. everything. We are sitting inside a room, and now you can even see, even though it is a pandemic period, we are able to converse from one place to the other place. We have Zoom platforms, we have Google platforms, everything is available. Okay. Now, man was a nomad. He was just he was just moving from one place to the other. There was a nomadic lifestyle of human beings. But what happened later was he, from the nomadism, he got into a sedentary lifestyle. So the sedentary lifestyle started because he wanted to store lots and lots of food because of the increase in population. So the earlier human being did not have the practice of storing all the food materials. But when he became when he started a sedentary life, as I told you, the population pressure. I told you earlier that one person had 2 kilometers circumference to lead his life. But right now, look at this crowd here. The one they have given in the bottom, that refers to the crowd in the Marina Beach the day after Pongal. That is during Kanum Pongal. This photograph was being taken. So if you take in Chennai, the population for 1 square mile is about 30 or 25 or 30,000 people. If you look in Bombay, it is about 7,000 people. So look at the comparison. We had a very wonderful lifestyle. We had 2 kilometers. One person had 2 kilometers, but right now, 1 square kilometer or 1 square mile has been accommodated with some 20 or 30,000 people. So the toughest thing what we are undergoing. Want me to share this?
வேற யாரும் ஷேர் பண்றதா வருது சார். யாரோ இன்டர்ஃபியர் பண்றாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Yes.
Is it okay?
I have to get it. Okay. Okay. Now let us. No, I have not got the sharing. Anyway, so now let us look into the different types of problems what we are facing. That is what I want to bring it to the limelight here. It is the challenges what we are facing. No, I have to get it. Yes.
Hello.
Wait. Yes. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now you can see these are the challenges what we are facing. I'm just going to throw light in each one of this because we know very well, as students, you know very well about air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, everywhere you are studying this. But I'm just going to give what type of challenges we are facing. If you look into the next slide, the list of cities which are being very much polluted. Dr. Venkatesh, can you skip the, yes, go to the next slide. Yes, look at the number of countries here, cities which are being most polluted cities in the world. If you look here, this is a 2019 record. But if you look at the 2020 record, almost 9 cities out of the first 10 cities are from India. It's a very sad thing to think about. Because here you can see there are some 4 cities from other countries. But according to the other report, that is 2020 report, you can see, except one city, that is Hotan in China, all other cities are from India. That means that much of pollution. It includes all sorts of pollution. It includes air pollution, water, land, and every sort of pollution. But here we have saying about this air pollution is very, very high. But all sorts of pollution, we are topping the list. Anyway, fine. Now, how this air quality is being indexed? We have an index called the air quality index. If it is between, that is the particulate matter. The 3 main things is about the sulfur dioxide concentration, the noxic gases. Noxic gases are very dangerous gaseous substances which enter inside, and the most dangerous is the particulate matter. So the particulate matter, when they are about less than 2.5 micrograms in size, they very easily enter into our lungs. We have a lot of barriers in our system. We have the cilia, in the nostrils. It has to pass through the nostrils, the cilia. Then we have the mucus. Then only it has to go and reach the lungs. But even there are some flanks which can even push away all this unwanted dust particles. But still, the problem, since they are very, very small, they go and get accumulated into our system. And now another major problem the whole world is facing is microplastics. Microplastics are found even in the atmosphere. The smallest particles, the smallest pieces, they are all microparticles, they are all microplastics, and they also enter into the system and they block our lungs. We get into all sorts of other problems. Now look at this Delhi. Always there is a problem. Delhi is choking. Delhi is choking. Quite often we come across this problem. For the past 1.5 years, I think we have not heard this. But previously we were hearing about this quite often. The previous slide, please. Yes. So the one major reason, recently what they have found out is the stubble burning. Stubble burning is the waste which comes out of the agricultural field. Once harvest is over, during the month of November, during the month of October, November, this period, the farmers, they start burning their field. Their entire, the straw, all these things are being completely burnt. So this smoke and smog, all these things, they totally enter into Delhi. You may wonder, this is happening somewhere in Haryana and Punjab. So this Delhi is somewhat looking that is situated inside it is slightly deep inside, and the other two regions, the Punjab as well as the Haryana, is in the other region, two different sides, and they are slightly elevated. So what happens is all the smoke and smoke, all these things, they enter into this Delhi, and Delhi is choking. The heart of our India is in trouble. So that is the biggest problem. So quite often you would have even heard that schools are being shut, many institutions are being shut, and now the government is also trying to do various methods they are following, like the vehicles are being numbered, and alternative days the vehicles are being allowed to travel. So many measures are being taken. So this stubble burning is a major problem. Since 2010 or 15, they have started realizing. You may have a question right now, why the stubble burning doesn't happen in any other part of India? The reason is more and more agricultural land is there in Haryana as well as in Punjab, in this northern region. That is the reason why more and more of stubble burning. Even farmers are given subsidy for this, but they have no other alternative. They are being jailed even, but still the problem of stubble burning is going on. Next one, please. The next one you can see, the other problem, the cement factories, especially in Howrah, there is a cement factory which destroys the whole of that particular city. Many other factories are there. If you look in Agra, you have a number of leather tanneries, leather industries which are polluting Agra and the surrounding regions. So that is why in the previous air quality index as well as the list, why India is topping is northern part of India has too many factories, too many polluting factories, from where a lot of smoke and smog arise. This is a major problem there. And the other one you can see there, smoke pollution in Nepal. This smoke pollution in Nepal was due to the pollution which was being caused in India. So we have to now think about this. From one country to the other country, the effects are being there in the next country. This happened recently, I think in January or February this year, this happened. Schools were being shut, many offices were being shut, and the people were being instructed not to come outside because of the smoke pollution from India. Just think about this. So we are not only destroying our own self, we are also destroying the other countries. The next one, please. And look at the chart here, which contributes more for this sort of pollution, especially for this air pollution. This is in 2021 International Energy Agency report, where you can see 53% of air pollution is being caused by the power industries, especially like burning of coal and all other things. So from the power industry, so much of air pollution is being created. And industry, again, it amounts to about 33%. This is the three main things what I have given is the sulfur dioxide, the noxic gases, and the particulate matter. So particulate matter, so for if you look at as an average, you can see that this power sector, burning of coal, plays a major role in polluting the atmosphere. Next comes is the industries, next comes the rubble from the building, and the transport and agriculture also play a major role. Look at about what about the water sources? India is blessed with a number of rivers, but still all the rivers now, right now, many of the rivers are being polluted, and you could have even seen this quite often. This river Ganges is facing a lot of problems. Dead bodies are being found in Ganges, in Yamuna, and all rivers you can see. So here also again you can see the most holy, the Ganges river is being considered as one of the holiest river, and at the same time it is also being considered as one of the most polluted river in India. Apart from that, also all other rivers like Yamuna, Godavari, even in our South Indian rivers. I'll come to the South Indian rivers in the later part. Next slide, please. Yes, I want to I want to give you two quotes about two different rivers in the world. One is about a river called Cuyahoga River in Ohio State in US. This river, in the year 1952, there was a major fire which broke out in that river that happened because of the debris and oil substances which were being accumulated there. So this river has survived 13 times of fire. So quite often there was fire in this particular river. So this was a major problem of concern, and they started conserving this river. Many projects were being carried out, and now you can see the same river. In the next picture, you can see it is a very beautiful one. So this in US, this is a very good example how a river can be restored. Any river, any system, any ecosystem can be restored. This is what the take-home message is. Any system, any ecosystem which has been polluted, if it is being undisturbed, it is being left undisturbed, and if you are going to take some good measures, we can bring it back. We can bring it back to life. Next one you can see, in the next picture, you can see another famous river. This river in the year 1910, you can see three pictures. One is in the year 1910, which was considered as one of the world's cleanest rivers. River Thames was being considered as one of the cleanest rivers in the world. And this was later again, some 50 to 60 years back, about some 1960, I hope. This Thames River was considered as biologically dead. It was considered biologically dead. That means no organisms can survive. No organisms were also found there. So this again, the same Thames River was brought back to life by a number of people. A number of people worked for that. A lot of preventive measures were being taken. A lot of charity was being obtained from different people, and they all worked together to bring back this Thames River. And in the year 2015, it was very nice. Why I'm saying again 2015 is, again, in the last 2 years, it has again started. A lot of other pollutions are there in the Thames River also. The reason what they say is, now a new baby has been born. That is the plastics. As I told you earlier, plastics play a major role. Tons and tons of plastics are being produced. If you look at the production of plastics, it is a very drastic increase is there with regard to this plastic production throughout the world, because we look for any product, it is made out of plastics. So that is again another major problem. So now, and this pandemic has also caused a number of other problems. What they say is in river Thames right now, lot of plastics, lot of masks, lot of other PPE materials, everything is being floating. So again, that has to be revived, and I hope that those people can do that. They will do it. And let us look into our own rivers. In Tamil Nadu, we have three major rivers, and we have many other small rivers also. And even in Chennai, we have a very beautiful, actually, it was a beautiful river, Adayar River. And now we say when it comes near the coastal region, it is the Kuvam. And totally it is spoiled. Even when you look into the records of the Kuvam River, it has been polluted since 1890. So since 1890, river which was a river has been polluted by all other things. The industries, the effluents will come out, people who are residing everywhere. So all the domestic waste which comes out of each house in Chennai, all this they go and get mixed in Kuvam. So we are not, but there are restoration projects are also going on. You can see for about 10 years, a restoration project is being carried out in that Kuvam. Still, not able to do that. There are some problems. People have to find it out. One or two problems. What I found out there is once uh, we have to resettle those people. The people who are living in banks of that Kuvam. So resettlement is a major problem, and the other problem is rehabilitation. Because most of these people who are residing in this region, they need not pay any money, and they look for a job somewhere in and around that particular region. So rehabilitation and resettlement is a major problem there. That is how the government is also struggling. But we need to work together. That's what I want to tell young generation, that you have to work together to bring back the school, because this was being considered being as Thames. That means equal to that of Thames was being considered. But because of all we are now facing this, and we need to work for this together. And we have all these river sources, River Kaveri, River Vaigai, and all these Kaveri and Vaigai, we know Kaveri has all its own limitations, and it has its own problems. And many regions around this Kaveri, especially near the Namakkal region, then the regions near to this Kaveri, all these regions are written. Other factories, the sugar factories are there, the tanneries are there. Especially if you go to Tirupur, you can see lots and lots of tanneries. They are spoiling the soil and using color shirts, different color shirts, different blue. All these colors are all synthetic colors, and these synthetic colors, they contain lots and lots of chemicals. They enter into the groundwater system. They completely destroy the groundwater system. And Convener and Vaigai, of course, we have when compared to other rivers, it's somewhat you can say it is somewhat stable, and the pollution is slightly lesser. But still, Kaveri is being polluted, Vaigai is being polluted, and as well Tamarabarni is being polluted. But look, the origin, if you want to look at it, please. Skip the slide. Next one. Next slide, please. Next, yes. This is a region in Chennai, Palikarnai area. This is a marshy land actually. It runs to a few kilometers, but much of the now buildings, some of the IT companies are there. This is a stretch which leads to the ECR. This is the one which connects a road which connects the Sholinganallur and the East Coast Road. So here, in between this, we have a beautiful area, this marshy land. This being encroached. This has lots of birds. Every year, birds will come and visit, and birds also stay here. This area has to be protected. You can see lots and lots of building which has come up right now there. But further, at least further, in some there are organizations, even this Palikan, a few NGOs are being worked here. NGOs are working. Vein, you can see. Next picture, this is a view of a similar dam in the Western Ghats. The Western Ghats quite often the most richest region with regard to biodiversity, because we have lots and lots of plants and animals we will be discussing in the later slides. Next one, please. Now, we want to look into the origin of river, how a river originates, because in northern part of India, you can see lots and lots of glaciers are there. Take for example, all these, they come due to the mix of the glaciers. But this is slightly different to rivers in the Tamil River has its origin in a place called Botany. And even in Botany, there is a place called Aindumalai. Five different mountains are there. In all these five mountains, this water starts oozing little by little, and that is how we are able to get the small rivers. The small rivers join together, and the big Tamil River gets there. And this region, this is one of the Western Ghats. You can see the topmost region. When we travel in forest system, we have different system. That the slide is there. I'll tell you later. If you go to the peak region, you see the grassland system, and this grassland system has a beautiful rainwater harvest. The grasses, it is an amalgamation of grasses. A number of grasses are bound here. They have lots of water and they keep it for a very long time. This grass, they are not losing water throughout the year. There is no this grassland below the water. And they have introduced this tea in the slopes, thinking that slopes are of no use. But as I told you in the previous slide, slopes are of much more importance. It is the reservoir of water for the whole community, for the whole of the human population. So everywhere you can see now in Nilgiris, in Ooty especially, you can see lots and lots of tea estates are there being there is an increase in the temperature throughout the world. When there is an increase in the temperature throughout the world, that results in the melting of these Arctic regions. And the next picture, you can see two pictures which has been taken. Next one, please. Next slide. In next slide, this is a glacier in Alaska. In this Alaska, you can see one which was being taken in the year 1941, and the other one is 2004. So the entire stretch which was being found as a glacier has got melted and got converted into a lake. So one small image I have just given. In the top, you can see how the top region starts melting first. So the entire top region, the moraine, the completely it gets melted up. So they have studied now that the size of this is coming down. The huge glacier size is coming down. With the help of these images, they have found out. This is in Alaska. Next one, please. Next slide, please. In the next slide, you can see this is another, the previous one, please. Previous one. The Kori Kalish Glacier in the Andes Hills. So here again, you can see a 10-acre lake has been formed in the one in the 2002. So in 1978, it was full of glaciers, and in the year 2002, it has got converted into a lake. So this is again another one. The next one, you can see the glaciers found in the ocean, which keeps melting. So there is a pictorial representation. This is how it will be for human beings. We are just sitting on an iceberg. We don't know when this iceberg will go into the ocean. That is the thing which we have to think about. And the next one, next slide, please. You can skip this one. Next one. Yes, this is one which we have come across recently in the last month, in the month of May, I hope, 2021. In an Antarctic region, you can see there is a big glacier which has broken into a fragment which is about the size of half the size of Sikkim. You can just see one island, you can see in the other part, which is being given as an image. It is almost the size of that island. Okay, so this is Ronnie ice shelf. The whole one is called as Ronnie ice shelf, and this small part, it is not a small part because it is about 4,320 square kilometers. It is right now broken. We don't know what is going to happen in the next few years or whatever thing. It is being named as A76 because they give the name based on the region. If it is an Antarctic region, they say it is, they give an alphabetic name, and a number is being provided in such a way that they are working. Now, this is actually a satellite image of this recently broken iceberg. So, melting iceberg, the global increase in temperature has resulted in a number of breaking up of these icebergs, and this iceberg is being considered as one of the biggest iceberg so far human beings have seen in their life. Next one, please. Okay, so if this is going to happen, so the future of all the coastal region, especially Chennai, Kanyakumari, Bombay, and Bangladesh, of course, they say that the entire Bangladesh will be lost because we have already lost many parts of Sri Lanka. We had a lot of connections with that of Sri Lanka, but we have totally lost it right now. So these things would have taken place because of the climate change, the global warming, and the increase in the ocean, because they say that it may rise in meters. So if that is going to happen, then just we have to think about the consequences. Next one, please. Right. So we have seen about three different things. One is the air pollution, the water pollution, the water bodies, the importance of water. So we know very well how water is important, how air is important. Both air and water cannot exist without a good biodiversity. If you don't have good organisms, if you don't have a good forest system, we cannot have a clean air, you will not have the water. Next slide, please. So these animals, very well, we will be able to say, we will be very well, very easily we are able to spot these three animals, the giraffe, the zebra and the ostrich. But none of these animals belong to our country. In the next slide, you can see the animals which belong to our country. But we don't know what this is. Many of us keep thinking what this is. This is an antelope. The next one you can see, next picture. This is a Nilgiri tar. In Tamil, we call it as Varayadu. This is actually the state animal of Tamil Nadu. These are found in the slopes of Nilgiri. It will be found in the steep slopes of the Nilgiri mountain. Next one. This is a giant squirrel, or you can call it as a Malabar squirrel. So all these animals are found in our country, but we are not aware of this. We don't know the importance of this. We think about zebra, we think about giraffe. We teach our children also similarly. We say Z for zebra and G for giraffe, but we never say we never show these animals which are found in our country, which are endemic to, which are restricted to this particular region, especially Nilgiri tar is restricted to that Nilgiris. And this Malabar squirrel is restricted to this Western Ghats, especially in the Western Ghats, Kalakadu Mundadurai region, you can see this. In Anamalai, you can see this. So quite some regions we can see this. And okay, next one. Next one. Next slide, please. Yes. This is a bird called dodo, which is right now, which has become extinct. So we have lot of relevance. That is, the plant-animal interaction is very, very important. We can never say plants are superior, or we can never say animals are superior. Without plants, animals cannot lead their life. Without animals, plants cannot lead their life. There is a tree called Sideroxylon grandiflora. The next slide, please. That is Calvary major. It was previously called as Calvary major. This tree, the birds, this dodo bird used to consume the fruit of this tree, and it used to throw this in the fecal. You can see the seeds, and they start germinating. For quite a long time, people didn't know. This was actually endemic to Mauritius. Both the plant as well as the dodo, which belongs to duck family, they belong to this. They are restricted to that particular region, Mauritius. So in the 15th or 16th century, the people in this Mauritius, they started hunting this dodo bird because they were slow runners, and almost all the birds were being totally destroyed. But after that, they found out that the tree population was coming down. And finally, now what happened was, a person called a Temple, he has worked on that, and he has found out that no tree is available right now. So we have lost the plant as well as we have lost the bird. So this is what we have the relationship. So India is considered as one among the mega biodiversity centers. We have two major hotspots here. One is the Himalayan region, and the other one is the Western Ghats. We have plenty of endemic and endangered plant species. Next slide, please. Next one. So here, this Western Ghats is very, very rich in source. Next one, please. And this is how we divide a forest system. We have a core region, core zone. That is the most important region where no human dwelling is possible because it is a dense forest. Lots and lots of animals, birds, all insects, they are found in this region. That is a core region. Next to that core region, little bit outer to that, the buffer zone is being found. Some educational activity, research activity can be carried out. And out of that, there is a region of transition. transition is the hillock region where human settlements will be found. That you can see this here. Yeah, the next one. Here you can see the first two pictures in the upper side. You can see this is the hillock region. You can see the water which has got accumulated. It has come up from the mountain and it has got accumulated fully there. This is the foothill region. And the next two pictures in the bottom, you can see this is a wild boar. This is not a pig, this is a wild boar. And here a farmer is standing here, and we were just interacting with this person, and he was just showing his field that which has been completely destroyed by these pigs. Because these pigs, what they do is they have a very powerful snout. So with the help of this snout, what they do is they try to remove the tubers, and they consume these tubers. So that is the major function of this wild boars, and they are very ferocious also. And these wild boars are called as natural plovers, because what they try to do is with the powerful snout, they just try to gather the tubers. During this period, what happens is the top soil is being removed and it goes down, and the bottom soil comes up. So it is a very good plover. Next one, please. Next one. Yes. This again, I want to tell you something about this Malabar squirrel. This Malabar squirrel can build a nest just by burrowing a tree. It goes to the top region of the tree, it burrows hole, and it gathers some poisonous leaves and it puts it inside the nest and keeps the young ones very safe, because the other predators are there, like the snakes are the predators for the young ones. And they start feeding on small nuts. They feed on fruits, other things. They are a very good agent for seed dispersal. And they have the very powerful tail. With the help of this tail, they keep moving. They move to about some 6 meters. They can just creep to about some 6 meters. So a leaping movement. They give a leaping movement. Next one, please. And this forest, next one. This is a forest has a number of medicinal plants. One such medicinal plant I have just shown you, that is found in the scrubby region, the previous one. And now this was an expedition which we carried out. We used to go to forest quite often to look into the to gather some plants for our culture studies for the sake of preservation. So we used to travel for about 3 or 4 days or even more than that. We used to stay there. And one such this actually, we were sitting here, we were having our food there, and we found a wild dog, but I couldn't put that photograph here. It was not that much clear. So I didn't bring that photograph. The previous one, the other one, the top is the team. We had a person to cook food for us. We had a local tribal with us, and we had our MSc students, project students. We all traveled together. We used to travel. We used to stay there in the forest. So if you want to reach the top position, I'll just show you how we reached the top position about some 1,800 meters above mean sea level. So why we collect all these plants is for the conservation. The next one, please. We carry out tissue culture. We have greenhouses, and we culture all these plants, and we conserve some of the endangered and endemic plants. Next one, please. Yes, this photograph, we were staying at one part. We have climbed one part. Now I've just taken this photograph from another hillock, another mountain. And now what we have to do is we have to go down again, and we have to climb up and reach the top region. I just want to show you the density of the forest, how it is. This is part of Western Ghats. This is a place called Thirukarangudi, a range of Thirukarangudi. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, so on the way, we had an opportunity. This is actually a different one. The one which I have shown in the bottom is in Parambikulam, because I have visited some of the forest regions in Tamil Nadu. I had a chance to visit many regions. This is in Parambikulam. That is on the way to Parambikulam from Topslip. We found a wild elephant, and the driver was so wise, he just stopped this vehicle. They won't disturb it. And the animals also, they don't disturb us unless and until we disturb them. It's a very intelligent one. It is considered as a keystone species, the elephants, but quite often we come across the problem, the elephant-man conflict. Quite often you can see in the Mudumalai often we come across the problem that this elephant is creating lots and lots of problems. But they are very intelligent animals. They are called as keystone species because they have many functions to perform. The next one, please. This is one region. You can see they don't destroy a complete area. They don't graze the complete area. They graze for graze a particular region. They leave the region, then they go for the other region. This is one way how they don't completely destroy the ecosystem. We have to learn from this. But if a human being is there, we will completely destroy because we get food from a same place. We try to do that. And another thing, what it tries to do is it takes the sand and it sprays it on its body, because to keep its body temperature cool, it used to does this. Next one. And here you can see in the next picture, you can see the next picture, please. Yeah, you can see a wild tusker. It has tusk into that. So what it's trying to do is, by dripping his tusk, what it tries to do is, it creates some small water cavities. So then, with the help of the trunk, it will drink some water, and it will also allow other animals to look for this water. This is one character what this elephants do. Next one, please. And the favorite food for this elephant is bamboo, as well as another one which is called as ethel, which is a favorite one. We traveled all this region. We found everywhere the signs of the elephant which has just left behind us. We were just behind the elephant. We saw the dung. We saw a herd of elephants have just passed around. That was what I have just taken all these things. It is very fond of this food. And this was the region where we stayed in the forest the whole night. Next one, please. Next one. This region, we lost our route actually because it was full of mist and we couldn't see that in the first one. The next one we found out at last, and we stayed in this region only. The whole night we stayed here. This is the next morning. You can see a bright shiny day. This is dark here in the late evening. And the whole thing you can see. We stayed there. We went to collect certain plants. Next one, please. Yeah, this was one plant which was endangered and endemic to this particular region alone. And we were able to get it, and we were able to use this for tissue culture. And we have documented many vital things from this plant. Next one, next one. Next one, please. Yeah. Here again, you can see another organism which is very important, which we consider. We have lots and lots of tiger reserve forest in Western Ghats. In Mudumalai Wildlife also we have a tiger reserve. In Kalakadu Mundandurai, we call it as Kalakadu Mundandurai Tiger Reserve. We give so much of importance. Why we give so much of importance is each country has certain flagship species. So the flagship species are considered as ambassadors for that particular country. If you look for Australia, they have the panda. Sorry, in the WWF, they have the panda. So like this, you can see each country will have a brand ambassador for them. So we have this tiger. This is a top carnivore. And the population is very, very less. We have to conserve it. I don't know what the census is right now in Kalakada Mundandurai. Previously, it was about some 23 or 24 tigers were there. So the richness of a forest also depends upon the tiger population. And we have to feel proud that we are one country with all these 5 big cats. No other country is blessed with 5 big cats. The first one is the tiger, and the second one is the panther, and the third one in the bottom left is the snow leopard, and the one in the tree branch is the clouded leopard, and the Asiatic lion. All these 5 are found in India. We are blessed with this. No other country has these 5 big cats. But we had one more cat with us. Next one, please. We had also the cheetah with us. We had 6 cats, but right now we have only 5 cats. We have lost it. This cheetah was being last spotted in India in the year 1950. This is considered as one of the fastest animal. But right now, the cheetah population is also very less in the world. There are about only 1,700 cheetah. Along with that, other organisms like puma, the jaguar are also there, but none of them are found in India. So we have all the 5 big cats which has to be preserved. Next one, please. The next one is about the lion-tailed macaque, again another important species of the Western Ghats, an endangered animal, which is which relies mostly on the fruits alone, because they are even not able to digest the leaves. Other organisms, they even digest the leaves, but this organism, they are restricted to fruits alone. So that is why their population is also coming down, and they are also found as endangered organisms. Next one, please. And one more thing we used to say, that no forest product should be brought back to our home. You can see the horn of this deer. It is a food for this porcupine, Mulampalli. Usually what happens is this porcupine, it eats the horn of this deer. Once the deer sheds its horn, அந்த முள்ளு கீழே விழுந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா கொம்பு அதை வந்து இந்த முள்ளம்பன்னி வந்து சாப்பிடும். So because the reason is it needs lots and lots of calcium. So the calcium comes from this. So it is nothing is waste in the forest, and nothing should be taken, because one of the waste which is found in the forest will be the food for another organism. That is one thing. Next one, please. If our biodiversity is not being conserved, what is the problem, or what are we going to come across? We will be losing lots and lots of plant species. The rare organisms will be lost from our universe. Both plants and animals will be losing. If you lose a plant, you will be losing an animal. If you lose an animal, you lose a plant, because as I told you, it is all interdependent. It has lot of dependency. Next one, please. Next one, please. So here you can see the major threats what we are facing in our conservation. One is the habitat fragmentation, encroachment, the overgrazing of cattle, then cutting of lots and lots of trees. I don't know how we need to have some a demarcation for this, or we have to stop at least right now. Then killing of wildlife, then the tourism, careless tourism, and the trade. The next one. We'll see one by one. I'll just tell you how this habitat fragmentation takes place. I have already told you about this introduction of tea into India has created that the whole habitat is being fragmented right now. And you can see roads and rail lines are being laid in between the forest system. In some of the Western countries, what they try to do is they have a bridge for the animals to pass through, so that no hindrance is there for the animals. They just keep moving very quietly, and the bridge on the bridge only the vehicles travel. Why I speak about this habitat fragmentation, especially railways, is quite often in Assam we come across the problem. The elephants are being hit by the rail by the trains. The elephant, even the small pups are being the young ones, the cows of the elephants are being hit by the train. And the last one here in the left hand side, you can see quite often which we can see in the Bandipur Wildlife Sanctuary, that is on the way to Mysore from Gudalur, that is in the Nilgiris. You can see quite often the movement of animals. We travel by bike or car, because there is a road we travel, and the animals they keep moving here and there. Next one, please. Habitat fragmentation again doesn't stop here. You can see the snakes which are found on the roadside, the buildings which are being constructed, with or without the concern. You can see in Nilgiris, especially in Mudumlai and the adjoining areas, the Masanagudi, number of resorts are being found. I don't know why so many number of resorts are there in that region, but these things, they fragment the habitat. Next one, please. Then overgrazing, and overgrazing is a major problem right now in the foothills. This is why the um, man animal conflict takes place, because we just keep going inside the forest. As I told you about the elephant, which is very intelligent, it keeps moving in a particular uh, region. It knows its path. But when we go for some obstructions, when we create some obstructions, when we have some obstructions, either having some agricultural land or constructing a small building or a hut, that is the problem, where the elephants, they behave in a stray way. They enter into the village, or the wild animals, they enter into the village. Next one. Deforestation, of course, we know very well. Every year, every 3 seconds, we are losing many football grounds. That is that much bigger size. Trees are being totally removed from the place, so that football ground size area is available. So every second we are losing this. Again, it is a problem. Then the mining again creates a number of problems, because landslides come out, because we keep on digging the soil. That is again another problem. And the wildlife. Next one, please. The killing of animals. You can see the cruelty. Just, I need not even explain this. Just looking at this, so much of cruelty in killing the animals for the sake of tusk, for the sake of this rhinos is also being taken up like that. And here, next one, the careless tourism. What we do is, we use, as I told you, lots and lots of plastic. We know that it is a plastic, but the animals, they don't know. They think that some food is available. Never feed the animals in the forest. In the forest region, never feed the animals. Never do that. Next one. Next one, please. Yeah, illegal trade. This parakeets are being traded, tortoise is being traded, and this snake, Tamil, we call it as manveli pambu. They say that it has a lot of medicinal use. Nothing is there. No medicinal use, but it is being traded for traded in lakhs and lakhs of rupees. It is being traded. Next one, please. So these things has to be stopped. If these things are being stopped only right now, we will have some hope in the future. If these are not being done, we have to face all other problems. In the next one, you can see the flood, unusual flood. You know, in the year 2015, Chennai, the heart of Tamil Nadu, has faced so much of problem. Not only Chennai, in many parts of our country now it is coming across this problem. Unusual rain, unusual flood, or sometimes no water, scarcity of water, which leads to desertification. Then drought, unusual rain, unusual flood, unusual drought. All these things happen. Next one, please. And in the next picture, you can see this is a picture which was being taken from one of the, I hope it was from Down to Earth a few years back. It shows that in one part of northern India, that so many people are looking for one bucket of water from one well. So this should not happen. We must be very careful about this. If we are losing nature in this way, then life will become a very big question mark. Next one, please. So life has to, we have to look for that. If this is going to be happening, if this is going to continue, then life will be a very big question mark. Next one. So now the question is, can we go back to our ancient style? Can we go back to our ancient style? Means nobody can say yes for this. Everybody will say no for this. So that means what has to be done? Next slide, please. Next slide, please. What has to be done? We need proper environmental regulations. Wastage of anything should be avoided, whether it may be food or it may be even the products which we use. Because if you are using unwanted products and you use it for 2 or 3 days, you throw it away, it becomes a waste again. So that is going to destroy your environment. So we have to look for all these things. Next slide, please. So how can you lead a sustainable life? Now, India is a tropical country. We have this solar power throughout the year almost in many parts of the country. we can use the solar energy. We can use wind energy, but wind energy, we cannot get it throughout the year. We have to go for other alternatives. Instead of using a transport system like bike and car, we can use bicycles. We can use cloth bags instead of using plastics. We can, again, we can use some naturally made products. The natural products, like even the cloth which is being fabricated using natural dyes. These things can be carried out. Next one, please. You can see this is a couple in Kerala who is leading their life in a mud house. They have an eco-friendly house. I just given the link there. You can just even see that in your, you can just store it and you can just see this. Many people have tried in India about using this mud houses. It's a very beautiful one. They have a very compact mud house. They have an integrated system. The waste, again, they use it. That is the biogas is being generated. From the biogas, they take this, they use that for cooking purpose. They have a refrigerator that is eco-friendly refrigerator, no current, nothing. So all these things are very fascinating to look into. Next one, please. Yeah. So 3 things what we can do. Increase the green cover. Conserve and preserve water. This is very, very essential. We have to look for this because increasing the green cover is when you have more and more of trees, it is a very good carbon sink. You can see the Amazon. Amazon is a very big carbon sink. So similarly, it can reduce pollution. It can reduce noise pollution. It can absorb lots and lots of carbon dioxide. So trees we have to grow. We should not destroy the trees. Conserve and preserve water is very, very important. Otherwise, we will not be able to get a drop of drinking water in the future. And totally, the biodiversity, the whole of this has to be conserved. So we need policies. Last one is, we need policies for a well-coordinated state action plan as well as a city and rural action plan. So everything has to come together. So as I told you about the Thames history, we have to all join together to rebuild, reconstruct, and restore our environment. So thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now it is time for vote of thanks. First of all, I thank our college secretary, Dr. D.R. Kumaresh, giving us permission to conduct this wonderful program. And also I thank all the management committee members also. Next, I thank our college principal, N.S. Saravanan, and also our NAC coordinator, Dr. Vijay Kumar, also the convener of this program, Dr. Venkatesan, for this wonderful program arrangement. And also, I thank our speaker, Dr. G.EBBIE, sir, Assistant Professor, Presidency College. He has given wonderful information related to environment. That is how to protect our environment for our future. He has presented the topic in a very wonderful manner. Thank you very much, sir. And also, I thank all the participants of this program. Without them, it is not possible to conduct this program. So I thank all the participants of this program and all the professors, students, participants. And also I thank Sankar Ganesh. He is the technical assistant for this entire program. So I thank Mr. Sankar Ganesh also. I request all the participants to give the feedback form already sent to you. I request all the participants to give the feedback for this program. So with this, I thank once again everyone participates in this program. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, EB sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
sir.
IQAC.
Thank you, thank you.
NAC coordinator also,
Thank
sir.
you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sankardas sir, and all the participants, those who are directly and indirectly supported for us.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'll be here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please fill the feedback form so that you will get the certificate also for participation. If you miss the feedback form, please inform me. I will send the feedback form separately to you. Only participants around, we are sending feedback form. So if you miss the feedback form, please inform me. I will send the feedback form to you separately. So for getting e-certificate, feedback form is very important. So e-certificate is generated only after submitting feedback form. So I request all the participants to fill the feedback form. EB sir?
Sir, shall I take leave? Yes, sir. Shall I take leave? Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so
okay, sir.
much. Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, please you come to our college.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure. After
Yes,
all
sir.
the.
Yes, come to our college.
He's a Board of Studies member also, sir.
Okay. I'm expecting you.
Okay.
EBBIE sir, I
I
have a
was about to
question.
come last year, and because of all this COVID, I couldn't come.
Oh, already, yes. Already,
Maybe.
Venkatesan informed me. But next time,
Yeah.
definitely you come. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Breakfast also there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. Thank you, Venkatesh, sir.
Thank you, Venkatesan, sir. Thank you very
Okay,
much. Thank you.
thank you so much, sir. Thank you all the
Venkatesan
faculty
sir.
members of our college.
Yeah, Venkatesan sir, I have a
Yes.
thank you very much for organizing such wonderful program.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for support, continuous encouragement also, sir.
But I had two questions which I couldn't ask to him. Can I ask
Sir,
him later?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
You are
Sir,
here
EB
only,
sir
no?
is here.
I'm sorry.
You want to please ask them?
When I was seeing your presentation, I was able to. Yeah, sorry.
Sir, I am Balasaraswati from IIIB College. Thank you,
So
sir,
one,
for your
Yes.
excellent presentation. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ebi sir, I'll be back. Right. See,
Yes.
I
Yes.
had so many things running in my mind when I was seeing your presentation. It was all about
Okay.
macro level, right? So there are certain things which you have to think of. Every change begins from home and individuals, no?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Please, can you
Yeah.
repeat the
Now, are you
question?
able to hear me? Hello, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Yes.
Every change begins from home and the individual's mindset, is it not? So,
Definitely.
whatever suggestions you were given is at macro level, Every government and NGOs have to take steps, right? So if you want to do it from home, what are the strategies which you can suggest? That's the question. It's a big question, I know. Maybe it may take time for you to tell this answer, I think, right? Can I get it?
Yeah,
Somewhere.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing was running in my mind, like waste management, right? Every day we are disposing
Of
something
course.
from home, right? At least two baskets
Yes.
from each home. In our complex, we have around 50 house to 60 house. That means if 50% of the lorry size disposal we are making, no? And it's a mixture of
Yes.
waste, plastic waste, everything is waste. I'm wondering how it is going, how it is being disposed every day by our corporation. I didn't know that, right? And if it is for a day, and
Yeah.
if it is like,
May I know from which place you're talking?
sir, I am from Madurai
May I
only.
know? Madurai.
Sir, it's
Okay.
our
Okay. Anyway.
MBA department. Our
Okay.
college
Okay.
knows it.
No, why I
MBA
ask this
department.
question is in Chennai. Yeah, we have lots and lots of landfill. This is a major problem in most of the places. But in Chennai, you can see everywhere a huge landfill in many places. As I told you, as I showed about that Pallikarnai, even in that Pallikarnai area, you can see heaps and heaps of this waste which is being pushed up. Lots and lots of plastic papers waste. As you say, it has to be done. But even what I am trying to do in my complexes, we have separated the waste. That's what I have so far tried to manage. As you asked, it's a very big question. Let us start with at least small things. Now, what I do is I don't bring carry bags from the shops. I take my cloth bags. That
Even I
is
have started doing that.
what I have just. Yes, I have just started that. But I don't know, will everyone agree with this? Even in our family, as we have 5 different fingers in our hand, not everyone will agree. That is the biggest problem. And as you said, everyone can do this in our terrace itself, this waste management. Everyday waste can